Alright, what is up, everyone? How's it going tonight? Alright, so, gonna just do some YouTube watching tonight. And to start off with, I don't know if this is the one, but apparently IGN made a pretty good Baldur's Gate video to go with, the whole, Baldur's Gate is too good, so I'd like to react to this. I think this is it. Okay, let's see.
At its peak, 800,000 plus concurrent players were playing this weekend, catapulting it to the number 8. Well, sweet. If that doesn't get me hyped for Mass Effect 4, I don't know what will.
This might be it.
And I'm glad, because if the industry can't take a good hard look at what's
Yeah, this is probably it.
why?
I think this is it. This is definitely it. Damn it, come on, stop. Jesus Christ. Alright, let me check my audio levels real quick.
Baldur's Gate 3 is taking the internet by storm. At its peak, a whopping 800,000 plus concurrent players were playing this weekend, catapulting it to the number 8
turn this up a little bit more.
The gaming community
with
has
myself.
sung its praises, and it's incredibly
I think I'm
refreshing
good.
to play a feature-complete game of this caliber on day one. But
Someone's gonna have to well, I doubt it. Let's go. Let me know how my
Rockstar
audio is.
level nonsense for scope.
Alright, let's
foolhardy to set expectations higher.
say there is good. Alright. Cool. I think we're all set. Only about 10 minutes long, so. Alright. So, go with what we were talking about in news and video game, Baldur's Gate 3 being too good according to other developers. Apparently IGN made a pretty good video about this, so they're not really known for doing good videos and having good takes on stuff, so I figured we'd watch it and I'll react to it, and yeah, we'll all know and be a little bit smarter together.
Baldur's Gate 3 is taking the internet by storm. At its peak, a whopping 800,000 plus concurrent players were playing this weekend.
No wonder it's been praised so much.
Most played of all time spot. The game
looks good as hell. Can't wait to get my hands on it.
Incredibly refreshing to play a feature-complete game of this caliber on day one. But AAA game developers want you to know that this is Rockstar level nonsense for scope.
Damn it, my bad. Hang on, let me read these.
Game developers want you to know that this is
I would not be surprised if this was more dev effort than the last 2 or 3 games in the genre combined. It's Rockstar level nonsense for scope. What does that even mean? Like, I understand it's Rockstar level because they do such big games, but nonsense for scope. Okay, only a few studio groups could even try this. I cannot wait to play, but this kind of effort likely won't be replicated this decade. I mean, it could if you guys try. If you really try, it could. But this, again, just sounds like an excuse to be really lazy. James Berg.
For scope, that it's full.
This great thread about why using a singular game to set expectation for everyone developing titles in a genre isn't useful and is instead foolhardy. Well, we're not setting this for everyone. I mean, it's just, it would be nice if more people could do this. Like a lot of people, I'm deeply excited about what the lovely folks at Larian accomplished with Polgate, but I wanted to greatly preemptively push back against players taking that excitement and using it to apply criticism or a raised standard to RPGs going forward. 1 out of 10. No, too bad, Xavier. I'm pretty sure Excalibur, yeah, that was the dude that kind of started it all, so
foolhardy to set expectations higher, and Baldur's Gate 3 should not be used as a raised standard to RPGs going
too
forward.
Bad, we're going
Why
to.
was the first response to defend the current state of AAA gaming as opposed to saying, hey, maybe we can learn a thing or two from Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah. Why was everyone's first reaction to jump to, oh shit, now why do we have to make better games now instead of
better for our customers?
Yeah.
This all kicked off way back on July 8th, a lifetime ago by internet standards.
Yeah, let me start that over again.
From current state of AAA gaming as opposed to saying, hey, maybe we can learn a thing or two from Baldur's Gate 3 and make our game better for our customers.
Yeah, that is a good point. That should have been the development's whole thing of like, ah, crap, or yeah, it should have been, you know, we got to make better games, you know, we got to meet these standards along with Larian, instead of immediately getting panicked and jumping on a please don't raise your standards and please don't make us do more work and have to actually try. I mean, if you can, do it, but if you can't, we understand, like indie studios and whatnot, but people like EA and the Madden team, you know, yeah, do fucking better, make better games, you know. That shit's gonna suck, and we're about to talk about 2K, so you know, yeah, this should raise standards.
This all kicked off way back on July 8th, a lifetime ago by internet standards, I know, when a writer and BAFTA nominee Xavier Nelson took to Twitter to express concerns about Baldur's Gate 3. Namely that
concern about his job,
criticism or a raised standard to RPGs going forward. My rebuttal is, why shouldn't customers have raised standards?
Especially when you have started charging more for games, you know, it just went up from $60 to $70 per game, and even $100 per game, you know. Well, no, yeah, you know, $70 per game. So, you know, it's just like, yeah, we should raise our standards to match that. And, you know, again, next gen systems, you know, better graphics. Unreal 5 shouldn't we have better games? Shouldn't we expect stuff like Baldur's Gate 3? Like, shouldn't developers just put that much work and as much work and effort forward as possible, like Larian did? I mean, is that really just, you know, now become ridiculous of consumers to ask for as a good product on launch? Like, again, it's just this whole trying to set things up to, you know, everything. It's just trying to, you know, work into that whole live service thing of, you know, let's get it out quick and then fix it later, I think.
A step further, why shouldn't some AAA developers raise their own standards? Are we really going to pretend that consumers shouldn't be a little upset right now?
Right, but they're never going to.
Going forward, Rockstar just announced a $50.
Oh shit! And I also talked about this. You know how this was a little ridiculous. How they're not changing anything. They're actually taking stuff away. There's no online for it. I found out since that video. So. Yeah, you know, and they did this with Grand Theft Auto before this, you know, the Grand Theft Auto Legacy Pack or whatever they were calling it, where all three of them were awful ports and were done lazily and as quickly as possible just to turn them around and make money off them. So, yeah, they're doing it again. And, of course, you know, now everyone wants to make sure that they can do this.
Version of the original Red Dead Redemption for the PlayStation 4 and
it might Switch. I also saw this morning, now that I remember, this might actually be worse than the original version. It might look worse and play worse than the original versions.
That has no mention of a 4K update, no mention of 60 FPS,
nope,
and
yeah,
no mention
30
of
FPS still.
The game came out 13 years ago, and the Xbox port does everything they're offering, and then some for free with your 360 copy. Go buy a...
Wow, I'm actually real happy they went real hard on this. Yeah, I own that one still, so, you know, I don't know if that works, though. I can't remember. No, it might. I can't remember. I might be wrong about this, but that might not, the physical copy might not work on your system. Plus, Xbox is taking down the store. Like, it's just the industry is trying to get so much lazier nowadays than it's ever been before, despite it growing so much bigger nowadays. They're trying to be so much lazier, and then one company comes out and actually puts forth a good effort and, you know, does really big numbers and is making everyone really happy and works on day one. So now the whole industry is worried about themselves and having to release stuff that works on day one, which makes me, now that we're talking so much about Rockstar, makes me concerned about Grand Theft Auto 6 and, you know, is it actually going to work day one? But, you know, that might be another one that's going to raise the standards. You know, Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming out at some point in time, and that might be right up there with Baldur's Gate, where it's going to raise the standards more. So yeah, gaming just might have to get better, like it should have the whole time.
Brand new copy of the Game of the Year edition on Amazon right now for $30, and you're good to go. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, when released on PC, had furious fans citing numerous
most PC ports do now. Most PC games do now.
PlayStation 5 and Xbox. EA
sad.
Apologized and is
oh yeah, let's talk about the apologies.
Issues. Destiny 2 just released a State of the Game blog saying, amongst other things,
got to talk about this as well. You know, Destiny's been not that great recently. The new raid apparently wasn't that good. The new content, hasn't been good either. So yeah, it's just an industry in decline, or a lazy industry, and a game coming out to go against that, and now everyone wants more games like that. So yeah, it's about damn time.
The resources to release new ritual armor every season.
Oh, this is
But
talking
that
about the
same
armor.
studio manages to create new armor sets
They had
in the
something
shop
about
for
the
up
raid
to $20
too.
a pop
Wow.
without fail
God
every
damn.
season. Diablo 4
Yeah, shops are
unabashedly has several
ridiculous.
character
Yep,
skins
good
priced
point.
at $20 each, and
From
just
the
released their
from the
first season
jump
that had
too.
a patch that was so poorly thought out that the developers
Oh,
had to
yep,
have
no one
an
wants to
emergency
play it.
live
I
stream
still
to
haven't played it.
apologize, and
Oh,
have since
really?
begun working to reverse.
I did hear something about them having a live stream where we might look that up later. About them having a live stream where what was it? Yeah, one of them couldn't play the game. Someone just kept dying. It was on an easy world tier, like world tier 1, and they were still dying, and they didn't know how they use their abilities. So that's just wild to me as well. It's just like, so what is this guy really doing for you, huh?
Those changes.
But yeah, the new
Don't plan
season
on
was
doing
pretty
anything
bad.
like this ever again.
Okay,
Thank
you need a
God.
more comparable RPG example of why fans are heralding Baldur's Gate 3 as a breath of fresh air.
What about Final
Look no
Fantasy?
further than Mass Effect Andromeda, which was widely panned.
Sorry, my face is tired. Everything.
Oh
Or
God.
Cyberpunk 2077. That
Yep,
made promises
I
about
thought they were
last-gen
gonna
game
show the
consoles that
apology
it
letter
couldn't
from
keep.
this
It
too.
took CDPR almost a year to get that all sorted out.
And it's
I'll
still
make this as
it still has some problems. I mean, I've kind of played a lot less of it since you know, some other stuff has come out, but yeah, it still had its problems. It's still not the game they said it would be, and we'll find out next month with Phantom Liberty. Apparently, we're going to see more of that at Gamescom, but we'll see. We will see
clear as possible to contextualize
if that can ever
how
be the game
fans
it should have
are
been.
feeling. It feels like money has become more
Yep,
important than
here
the
we go.
core experience for
Yeah.
fans.
They
That's
just
why
want to pump
Elden
them
Ring,
out
Baldur's Gate 3,
to get the
and
money.
even The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom
All took
are
time.
being widely celebrated.
But how much time
So
was
what
to
is
put
up
into
with
their
the
development?
excuses? A game came along that is amazing, is selling well, is being praised by developers and fans alike, and the response is, well, we can't do that. Well, sweet. If that doesn't
Because they don't want to put the money and time and effort and, you know, whatnot into doing that, instead of you know, quickly turning something out that can make a bunch of money right now rather than later, or that they can fix later and then make more and more money off it. It's indicative of a lot of things going on right now. There's a lot of games that have been doing this over there. Halo Infinite, great example. They could have put a lot more time and whatnot into that and had a real game with everything in it, but instead they wanted to get that the fuck out there and just get multiplayer out there, and they'll make money off skins and battle passes and whatnot, and then they'll fix it later on. But as long as they can get the money right now, that's all they care about. As long as there's something to be made right now, then you just get the game to a workable state where people can play it, and, you know, fuck opinion and fuck reviews and all that shit. Hopefully you can get them back later with content down the road. Look how Destiny has done their stuff. That's why Destiny's on here. So, you know, yeah, it's good to see that, you know, Baldur's Gate is doing something, but I think it's up to us now as fans and the consumers to be stay pissed and, you know, be like, yeah, no, we want better. We want more Baldur's Gate.
get me hyped for Mass Effect 4, I don't know what will. Xavier's tweet was well-intentioned, and he went on to add a lot of important context, but I think it misses the perspective of the consumer. We don't know anything about game design or how hard it is.
True.
We just know that Destiny is deleting hundreds of dollars worth of expansions when they feel like it.
Okay, yep, and changing the whole story.
To buy skins in their store, and most PC ports have been
can't
abysmal
work.
lately.
Yep, that most PC ports don't work on launch, even though some people own these really powerful, high-end, expensive systems. That is ridiculous that you can get this out of a high-end system that is meant for gaming and has the required specs to run the game. But again, you know, my other thing is, like, for indie devs, which I'm pretty sure Xavier is, or he's more indie, you know, yeah, we understand that, you know, you're not going to be making AAA games. You know, there's always a scope that we need to stay in when it comes to playing and reviewing indie games, but at the same time, it doesn't mean people can be lazy about it. Like, you're in the industry, you have to see it yourselves, man. Look at Redfall. Redfall was an incredibly lazy game that no one should be able to defend. It was an incredibly lazy and bad game. So, you know, there are just studios that, you know, they shouldn't get passes on it. Look at Madden and 2K every year. They're lazy ports with just a few new characters slapped in for the fuck of it. Or, well, you know, they're required, but it's just a few new characters put in there, and then they want $70, and sometimes it doesn't work, or it's a bad engine that people have been telling them for years they need to change, or old animations that need to change, or they become more and more greedy as the years go on. So, you know, I think it's okay to call that shit out. I think it's okay to call games like Anthem out that try to hype people up for, oh, this is going to be an Iron Man simulator. This is the game that you've been waiting for, you know, that you want. It's going to be so cool and have all this stuff in it. And then you get it and it doesn't have any of that shit in there. And then you find out just a few months after its launch that they pretty much didn't work on it at all throughout like 90% of its development. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And then they just rushed the game to the finish line and pumped it and then shoved it out there and just told everyone, oh, don't worry, it'll be better later on. Like, that's not okay, and that's what a lot of these companies are trying to do now. Or you have companies outright scamming people. Look at Steam and a lot of the Steam games out there. They're just flat out bit farming scams or Bitcoin scams. What is it? I can't remember. That's stupid shit. Or they're just lazy rush games so that somebody can make a quick $20-$25 off a couple of hundred people, and then they'll just do it over again. Like, no, there is a problem in the industry with scamming and laziness and overcharging for games that these companies know that they shouldn't be charging nearly as much for. Like, Everspace 2 is a great, I think, example of this as well. This game just came out. It's on Game Pass. It stutters like fucking crazy. It will freeze for like 3 whole seconds, probably up to 5 whole seconds at a time. Regardless of how good it looks, man, something is wrong with that game, and they shouldn't have released it yet, or they better patch it quick, but they haven't still. So no, there is a problem here, and it needs to be addressed. And I'm really proud of IGN, a company I really don't like. I really don't like agreeing with them, but this is a really good video. Like Moist Critical and a lot of people were saying, this video actually has some really good takes on it, and I'm glad to see them not just, you know, defending the industry and kind of taking the money, so to speak. I don't know, you know, not like literally, I don't mean that literally, but kind of, you know, actually standing up and saying, no, there is a problem here, and Baldur's Gate 3 deserves all of its praise, and you guys should work harder and be more passionate about the games you make if you're going to keep making games, I guess.
Remember, that tweet was made nearly a month before Baldur's Gate 3 blew up, and it was still contentious with fans speaking up about their frustrations and developers chiming in to say what felt like game development is hard, you don't get it,
Yep.
be quiet. Baldur's Gate 3
That's not going to happen. Welcome to the industry.
That refuses to add
and video gaming is full of passionate fans.
Players early access so they could address any problems that arose before launch, and it's taking Steam charts by storm. So why should fans not use that as a gold standard of how to do it right? And why would a AAA
That's kind of the whole point of putting out a game that size and that looks that good is to set up the new standard.
I don't want to see a $20 Liara skin, and I hope that its performance
and another Andromeda
release.
debacle.
Microtransactions and a stable video game at launch.
We used to have that before, kids.
There have been some really good examples of AAA games.
I did watch Moist Critical's podcast where they talked about it, and when one of the people on there was talking about, you know, back in when I was a kid and way back in the day, we used to get games and they just worked, and what was there was there. Like, you know, we maybe got a few patches or, you know, something through online, where like in the early 2000s, back in like the early PlayStation 2, I think the Xbox had some version of online. Not 100% sure. I know the PlayStation 2 that did, but even then there weren't updates. It was just very how do I put this, like archaic like stuff. You could barely play games online. So, you know, shit used to just work when it came out. They couldn't put shit out like this, and if it didn't work, just be like, oops, my bad, we'll fix it later. Like, it didn't work like that back in the day. So, you know, there used to be a time, a day and time, or a time when games just worked when you bought them, and nowadays it seems like that's less and less regular, and that's kind of the big deal, is that, you know, we want to go back to that, where, you know, we get our games, They work day one. They don't require a like 50 gig day one fucking patch because the game itself didn't work or half the data is online or half the game is online. You know, it's just so much to really put out there.
Games like the Dead Space remake and the Resident Evil 4 remake come to mind.
See?
Both of which have
And this
been
was all
massive successes
recently.
for EA and Capcom.
So it's not
Vampire
like it's
Survivors came
not
along,
possible.
took the internet by storm last
Again,
year. Do I need
great example of an indie game that came out. It works, it's fun, but we're not expecting it to be a AAA standard graphic game with ridiculous shit like Elden Ring, like they're about to talk about right now. But yeah, indie can still thrive out here, and we don't have the same expectations for indie games that we do AAA games. But it's just, we can tell when you put in real work and when you half-assed it and threw something together and put it out there to get money. And Vampire Survivor isn't that. You can tell, even though it's not like a triple A looking game, it's not like game of the year looking. It still has a lot of charm and fun to it, and you can tell they put a lot of thought into the weapons and the combos and the maps and the enemies and how everything works in Vampire Survivor.
Came along and took the internet by storm last year. Do I
Love
need
that
to
game.
bring up Elden Ring again? But that tweet blew up in the development sphere, and frankly, the pushback is just ridiculous. Developers should be looking at what Baldur's Gate 3 did and trying to
building on it.
replicate
Yeah,
where they can,
yeah.
not
That's how it
jumping
used
up
to be.
defend games that are cramming in practices that fans are getting fed up with.
It used to be a competitive market where, when games like this came out, other companies would try to up that and see how they could do better instead of being like, ah, fuck, well, now we got to actually do work and try on a video game instead of just sitting back and either pumping out the same game year after year with as little work as possible, or just finding a live service niche that works and then slightly adjusting it to try and capitalize off of that, like Exo Primal and Naraka Blade Point, like all of these boring and generic battle royales we have out, that it's just sad. It's just sad that it's become so lazy, and instead of trying to compete with each other, they just want to cry about it and do whatever is easiest and get us to give them our money that we work hard for.
No mistake about it, these decisions impact game design. Many games are utilizing battle passes and player engagement.
That's got to stop.
Success for a player.
That's got to stop. Sometimes it's missions. Yeah, I want to clarify. Sometimes it's just feeling pressured into it. Like, I recently bought the Overwatch 2 battle pass, but it was just because, like, if I don't, then I'm not going to get shit out of this game. There's no more loot boxes, and it's even crazy to think that, if you play Overwatch 2, you kind of want loot boxes back, because otherwise it's so tough to get skins now. It's so hard to get skins because you have to get the battle pass, but I didn't really want to get it. It's a situation where not everyone wants to get it, but it's like, if you want to get something for your time and effort in these games like Fortnite, Apex, Warzone 2, all these games that have a battle pass, and now even Diablo, then you kind of have to pay up to get that battle pass. Otherwise, you're just playing to play, and you'll get either nothing to little to nothing, and you'll constantly be reminded, hey, this is what you could have fucking had. You could have had this badass legendary skin, but you didn't give us $10 because this is how we want you to get your skins now, or anything worthwhile. So yeah.
More reminders.
Another sad thing.
It means a boring grind because keeping players engaged.
See, and then
Many of the
I know. I've done that so many times.
Why Baldur's Gate 3 shouldn't
that
be
frustrating switching back and forth.
Back those statements, and I'm glad, because if the industry can't take a good hard look at what's going wrong, why fans reacted the way they did to Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3, and then make impactful changes, we're screwed.
Yep.
Also, people seem to be using the fact that Larian
hopefully
is a big studio against them.
But they're not like the biggest studio. Square Enix is a big studio. EA is a big studio and is one of the laziest fucking studios out there. So, that doesn't like mean much of anything. Not every fucking video game consumer understands how big or small a studio is, or fucking anything about these studios. So it's really not that big of a deal, I feel like. But again, if you do know, then then you know you understand what an indie studio is, or you know what a AAA studio is, and you know then you can adjust your standards accordingly. But it's just like if you are a big studio like them or around their size, then you know it shouldn't be that hard to do. I don't know.
That they had a long development cycle against
Yep.
them? Really? Blizzard is also a huge studio with over 8,500
See, Activision, yeah, they're not the only big studio.
Employee at Blizzard in the release of Diablo 4. Bungie is a huge studio with over 1,552 employees across several offices.
Boom, there
BioWare
you go.
is a huge studio with over 500 employees across several offices. And Larian is also a large studio with over 400 employees across several
So
offices.
that doesn't really mean
All of
much
them
of
have
shit.
established beloved IPs with a ton of lore to
Small
pull from.
studios have
All of
done
them have a lot of money to
bigger
make video
games, or big
and
games
all of them
too.
had
Or
a long time to make anything they wanted to make. To say Baldur's Gate 3 is successful because it's aligned with Dungeons and Dragons is insanity.
oh, that's what it was. Yeah. So I'm not even a huge Dungeons and Dragons fan, and I played Baldur's Gate 2 before, so you know that really doesn't have any bearing to it. You know, a good game is a good game regardless of what IP or what source or you know whatever it's based off of. It will be a good game. Look at the old Lord of the Rings game back on the PlayStation 2 and whatnot. Like people used to love those games and think they were great games back then, and a lot of us weren't real big Lord of the Rings fans back then. I wasn't. I still love the video games because you got to play as different characters and level up different characters. They just did a lot of cool shit. So no, I don't think that's a valid excuse of it's a Dungeons and Dragons game, so therefore it has like this big fan base or some shit. Like I don't even like tabletop RPGs really. I think they're too long and take up too much free time, you know. So no, that's bullshit. The whole you know, they're a big studio is bullshit because there's plenty of big studios out here that still make great games and fuck up every once in a while. But it's just more recently they've been fucking up and concerned about profit over actually putting out a good game that works on day one and is fun to play on day one, you know. So yeah, just more them trying to make a bunch of excuses. At least they said they've walked back, and hopefully they're, you know, looking at things a little bit differently and trying to actually address these things and make the industry better. You know, to actually live up to the expectations that Boulder Gate set instead of just trying to whine and bitch about development is hard.
800,000 Steam players are playing a game called Baldur's Gate 3 because of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep. Nope.
No.
No.
It's clearly gone far beyond that audience. I don't know anything
all
about
the sex.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, see?
I didn't know this game had anything to do with Dungeons and Dragons. And you know why I'm playing it? Because I like good games
sex.
with a heavy focus on storytelling.
Bullshit, you're lying to
and
us
bears.
now.
But anyway, it wasn't all doom and gloom from the development side. Thank you,
And
Juno
just go
Blues.
this one more. Whenever a game disrupts the industry and delights players beyond expectation, it absolutely raise industry and genre standards regardless of the why and how. Yep.
Formerly a Riot,
Yep.
jumping in and echoing exactly what I'm saying here. Her quote tweet reads, I can't disagree with this
Damn
one
it.
more. Whenever a game does industry
Well, I
and
already-
genre
yep.
standards, regardless of why and how. We should look at the Larian success story and ask ourselves, how are we going to make our games better and create
Yeah.
the next games that should
That's how it used to be.
Players should and must always
Yeah, but
expect more from
I
us,
think this
never
just says how we have a lot of the wrong people in the industry, probably, because you know.
less. Thank you. I implore AAA devs to look at these games that are being celebrated and look at your pipeline to see why the consumer is getting frustrated about the experience I outlined.
Stop
in this
making
video.
the same
And
shit.
obviously try and make an improvement, because telling me how hard it is when you're breaking profit and revenue records isn't a super compelling argument from the customer's perspective. Is Baldur's Gate 3 an outlier? Yes, but I for one wish it could become the standard, and being told to
Yep.
shut up because I don't know game design doesn't feel super constructive. But
Yeah,
hey,
not a good
I'm just
idea.
some idiot on the internet
Yep.
who doesn't know anything about game design. I guess I'll just go buy my horse armor and call it a day. Enjoy your
Nope.
$20 on
I
top
won't.
of your $100 for the collector's edition, on top of your $15 for the battle pass.
Yeah,
What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
that's what they
below,
would love.
because I get why you're frustrated, and it's really frustrating to see people not saying, hey, maybe we could learn a thing or two from Larian. I'm enduring Baldur's Gate 3. And I
But
hope game development
it sounds like they
continues to
backtracked
grow
on that.
where it is today. I hope you do too. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And for more on all
Not
things
a good
video,
way
keep
to
it
go
right here
about it.
on IGN.
Yeah, wow, really good take from IGN. Really good video from IGN, surprisingly. But yeah, completely agree. You know, that's what they want. Like I was trying to say earlier, they want us to just shut up, admit that we don't know, and yeah, we don't know about game development, yada yada yada. Some of us have been around long enough to know it's not an easy thing. It's hard and whatnot, but it's been done before. You know, we didn't. This wasn't always the standard. This wasn't always how things used to be. So, yeah, it's just not okay to tell us to shut up and, you know, just buy your game and keep buying all the shit that comes for it and don't complain because we don't know anything about it. Well, you know, we know a little bit more than you might think. You know, we know the more time you put into it and the longer the development cycle, it seems the better game you get out of it, you know. And understandably, you know, we're not asking small indie studios to put out this type of looking game, you know. Have your expectations, you know, tapered for what studio it is for indie or, you know, AAA, but don't just simply let shit go by the wayside because, you know, that's how we got to this state of everything having a battle pass, whether it needs it or not, you know. So yeah, it's just kind of it was a good video. He makes a lot of good points that, you know, the industry is just kind of in a bad state. I mean, there's been a lot of good games this year, but at the same time, there's still a lot of games that are coming out that just aren't going to be that good, and we already know it. Like Assassin's Creed Mirage is kind of up in the air, and I think that just got pushed up too. So, you know, what's going on there? How did that happen? But, you know, just the industry in general needs to get better, you know, tighten up, and, you know, meet expectations. You know, when this stuff happens, just meet the expectations. You know, it's always good to see a good game come out, but then when you immediately jump to, you know, don't expect this from everyone else and this is ridiculous and, you know, we shouldn't be raising standards, that's a little concerning. Like, are you guys in the right field then? Because you shouldn't just be here to make money, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, good video though. But with that said, where was... There's a trailer. Oh yeah, is it they have the 2K, didn't they? A 2K trailer come out? The Skull and Bone was one we might watch later. Let's see. Yep, that's the new one. Maybe it's when. Wait, is this the trailer? Gameplay trailer. When did this come out? 2 days ago? This might be it. Alright. Let's see. Apparently people are not too happy with this, so let's see what's going on here. Oh, well, you know, this is probably gonna have music, isn't it? Yeah, probably. Is this the one that shows what everyone's getting pissed about? I don't see it so far. Is that none of this looks like any gameplay though? Okay. I mean, you know, it looks like a video game. Also looks like a lot of the animations you guys have been using for like the last decade. Guys ever plan on changing that or fixing that? I don't think this is the right trailer. I don't see anything to get really mad about here. I mean, it looks okay, but just seeing a lot of animations I wish they would get rid of and change out for something more authentic. Why? I'm going to assume it's at the very end. See you in the future. What does that mean? Same thing they've been using for years, so yeah, I don't see anything to be mad about there. Includes a 12-month. Oh, that's so wait. Is that the battle pass? I heard there's gonna be a battle pass. All right, let me just go to fucking. Yeah, something about a battle pass. Let's see. I mean, pay battle pass. Yeah, is there some other trailer we're missing here? I feel like there's some other trailer we're missing. No, it was that. Okay, so there is a season pass. That's what that was talking about at the end. Okay. So yeah, there's a season pass. Like, again, what were we just talking about? Literally just talking about the IGN video with the Baldur's Gate 3 drama and whatnot, and how there's battle passes and everything, and that's now the standard to tell how well a game is doing. And now it's coming to 2K, so they're going to be putting a well, I don't even know what you would call it. I'd say a court pass maybe into 2K, which is just, dear God. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm surprised it took this long. Yeah, it's probably coming to Madden, not this year but next year, you know. But yeah, it's just how they're judging how good their games are, how many people got the battle pass. And you know, I talked about in that video, I don't agree with that. You know, sometimes you just get the battle pass because you feel pressured and obligated to in order to get something for your playtime. Otherwise, you get nothing if you don't have a battle pass, and you just get constantly reminded of what you could have had if you had it. So stop doing this. Stop doing this. This is one of those companies that just complain about, oh, stop raising the bar for video games and your expectations, but then they do shit like this where we totally should, so this shit stops. There's no reason 2K needs a fucking battle pass. And what's real cool is they try to hide it in here. Like, see, they have this whole commercial. Oh wait, no, it's a little bit more back. This whole trailer, and then here it is, just real quick. 25th includes a 12-month NBA League Pass subscription. So does that mean for the whole year you get League Pass, all the new League Passes? I mean, just weird. I mean, I can't lie, I'm kind of interested to see how you do that. How do you do each season? But, you know, at the same time, it's just like, stop it. Stop it. So now they're probably going to strip a lot out of the stores and whatnot, and they're going to put it in the past. So hairstyles, maybe tattoos, maybe all that stuff is probably going to be in battle passes. So yeah, just so weird. So was this like this first sports video game to have a league pass in it? Like, that is wild. But yeah, we'll be buying 2K again. Congratulations, 2K. You just validated or sealed the deal for me that I'm not buying the game. Oh, so by the way, the background crowd looks like shit still. The crowd in the back looks like shit still. Their character models look terrible, just awful. But yeah, that is fucking wild. I'll look into how that looks when it comes out, but there's no way. If you're a sports fan, a basketball 2K fan, you should be pissed about this. You should really be mad about this one. Big dislike, because yeah, that's just a way for them to get you even more. So now if you don't get the like $100, $200 version of the game, $150 probably version of the game, then you got to pay an extra like probably $10 every like 2 to 3 months that the game's out in order to get the new battle pass. Oh man, wow. Shit has gone too far now, I think. All right. Oh, was there any more? Oh, yeah, shit. Alright, well, we'll do that later. Might have been another one of these I wanted to watch. Oh, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 official gameplay reveal trailer. We do that right now? Probably. Let me see if there's anything else. Skull and Bones, I have no interest in. Aren't we just playing this? Their new official dimension, yeah, DLC. Wow, that came out like a year ago. I thought. Could be wrong. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh. Damn, those are all long ass videos for Mortal Kombat. Wow. Yep, alright then. I guess let's check out the Modern Warfare 3 gameplay trailer. Wait, is this an ad? This is an ad. Whoops. I can't believe they're getting this out so quickly. I thought they were going to be taking time in between the games now. I already don't like this start with the deep underwater. I just have a phobia of underwater and open waters and that type of shit. Don't like that. Anyways, I thought the agreement was that they were gonna take some time in between games now, but apparently they said fuck that and they're just going to start doing the yearly thing all over again, which is again like that is a problem nowadays. Is you pump these out so fast that we can see the laziness and the lack of the work, and pretty much just turning these games into asset flips now. But let's watch the gameplay reveal trailer and see if there's anything really to get hyped for here outside the usual Call of Duty shit. Damn it. Oh, whoops. Start this over again real quick.
We need to roll under the radar to get this done.
Let's make sure that
Looks good. I mean, it looks good, but that's not too hard now. Kind of looks like one of the Blackout maps. Not Warzone. Blackout was the previous one, the one I actually did like. Oh, I just realized there's music in there. God damn it, Activision. Why can't you be more streamer friendly? Yeah, this looks like an old mission, kind of. Didn't you find soap here in one of the old ones? The usual Spec Ops stuff, night vision goggles. Yep, it's just, as usual, it's a different take on an old song. Well, it sounds good, but don't fear the Reaper. Yeah. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but some of these are giving me real old school Call of Duty vibes. Remakes, kind of reimaginings. Kind of looks like the Gulag, I guess. Oh shit, I can't remember their names, but they're all back. Oh, there's ghosts. I can't remember if I finished Modern Warfare 2's story. Played a lot of the online with Royal Child. I don't know, I probably wait till this one comes out. I usually get these games and then like 5 or 6 months later, is that a 3D printed gun? 5 or 6 months later, I'm bored with them. Modern Warfare 3 pre-order now. Isn't this one in like November? Is this one later than usual? Oh, there he is, that dude. Ah, Jesus, here we go. All for $500 fucking dollars. Early beta access plus campaign. Oh, really? Is that it? Is there no release date yet? Alright. Was there no release date? That's weird. Hang on a second. Vault edition includes all this crap for a lot more money than you should probably spend on it. No release date. I swear I heard it was in like November, that it was later than usual. But yeah, your usual Call of Duty fanfare. It only looks like they show us a few things, or a few areas though, like what looks like the Gulag. I swear, it just dawned on me. I was like, why does this whole structure look familiar? It does look like something from the original Warzone, but it also looks like the Gulag, kinda. Well, in here it does, but I'm pretty sure this is the inside of that outside area. Then you got like an Arctic mission, it looks like. These are all actual missions. That looks pretty cool and all, but it's more Call of Duty, and again, they took like no time off, so I just, it's getting back into that cycle of you lose excitement every time you see a new Call of Duty, and after a year later, you know, you're just like, oh, really? Didn't the last one just come out? Like, how good can it be then? Like, I understand it, they flip-flop studios, but still, that's not really a good excuse. Still, it didn't stop the previous iterations from getting old and stale and people getting sick of them, and didn't stop Assassin's Creed from that shit too, you know. Just not a viable excuse anymore. Okay, what was the other one? Was there not another one? Was it the Sunny thing? Shrouded, A Haunting in Venice. I'm not worried about movie trailers. I get copyrighted so much on that shit. Speaking of which, let me turn this back up. It wants to load for me. Is full screen? Whoops. Oh well. Oh yeah, the RAM, the new season of Rainbow Six Siege, the new character. Looks like a beast. Alright, well, let's go to Sunny then. I haven't watched this video yet, but it sounds really interesting. Where is it? Am I what? Alright, let's just go to home because it keeps showing up on my home everywhere. Well, the one time I needed to. Here we go. Here we go, finally. So the man who, oh goddamn, of course there's an ad right beforehand. Oh, I have it muted, that's why.
Artist, video.
In 2000?
Ah, shit. Alright, turn this down real quick. The man who lost $204 million on a trip to Vegas. Yeah, that sounds like a pretty daily occurrence in Vegas, though. I thought that was just how Vegas stayed alive nowadays, was by losing a shit ton of money. And granted, $204 million, that is a lot of fucking money to lose in, like, hopefully not a day. Hopefully he was there for like a year and lost it. But Jesus Christ, that is a lot of money. Let's see how you possibly do that.
20% of Caesar's Palace Casino revenue came from one single person.
Damn.
Terrence Watanabe. Born 1957 in Omaha, Nebraska, Terrence
Really?
began life as the son of Harry Watanabe.
How do you get
who
that
founded
much
one of the
money to
most
begin with?
successful carnival
Oh,
suppliers
wait.
in
Oh,
American
no, not
history,
Beanie
called
Babies?
The Oriental Trading Company. At the age of 15, Terrence
Oh,
began
you
working
meant
for his
Beanie
father,
Babies.
and by the
Those
age
look
of
like
20,
cheap
Terrence
Beanie
had been given
Babies.
the role of CEO, after which he had an incredible amount to the business. By shifting the focus toward party products, Terrence was able to grow the business from
And then he
17
went to
local
what,
stores
Vegas
to a
and
company
lost all
generating
that?
$25 million per month. The only problem
Damn.
was Terrence had spent most of his life doing
Smart
so,
man.
and had therefore experienced almost nothing
How
outside
do you,
of work.
So you're clearly smart enough to get all of this and, you know, do all of this and get this company that, you know, making that much money. So my big, yeah, how do you go, like, do you get really drunk and just gamble way too much? Do you have an addiction? Like, damn, it's just crazy to think someone this smart and capable of, you know, making that much money with a business like that, you know. Trying to turn this down, you know, managed to lose that much money. Hopefully he didn't lose like everything in his business, but Jesus, like Vegas really got this dude hard, huh?
The job was all-consuming, say former associates. He traveled for long stretches of time examining merchandise in Asia. He never married.
Whoops.
His sister and others who know him say they don't believe he ever had a significant romantic relationship. This was his life, that company. It engulfed him. Having burnt out by the age of 43, Terrence put his share of the company up for sale.
Oh,
eventually
well,
selling for an
so much
undisclosed
for whatever.
In October 2000,
I guess now it doesn't
after which
affect the
goal was to have
company.
a charitable
Doesn't
and fun
affect the company,
retirement.
but
Mr.
all right.
Watanabe said his plan was to throw himself into his philanthropic work and have more fun. If it's not fun, it's not worth doing. Mr. Watanabe told his hometown newspaper.
Good point, but man, he went too hard into that when he hit Vegas.
Watanabe Charitable Trust before donating millions to AIDS and cancer research, as well as various political causes. However,
now you just
having
feel
worked
bad for the
all day,
guy,
every day for
or
over 20
worse.
years in a complex business,
Yeah, he worked so hard to get all
Terrence
that
found
money.
satisfaction
That's
in
all
this
this good
new line of
stuff.
work.
Now you're
Donations from
telling
his
me he
foundation
lost
grew,
it
but he
all?
soon became restless.
That could have been
Several
all of
business
his money
ideas,
too, his
including opening a restaurant,
retirement.
went nowhere. He didn't know what to do with his time, says his sister, and as the old saying goes,
tends
an
to
idle mind
happen.
is the devil's playground. With nothing else to do,
For
Terry
people in
began a new
retirement.
hobby of spending large amounts of cash, purchasing one of Omaha's largest and most notable homes, which featured 9 bedrooms, 18 bathrooms,
Damn.
a gourmet kitchen, a custom
Beautiful
wine cellar, and a
home.
3-story elevator. But it was rather a venue
do you
near this
need it
mansion that became his
when you're
biggest
retired
financial
and
danger. Terry began to travel across the border from Omaha to
investing
Council Bluffs,
money into
Iowa,
failing
so he could
businesses
gamble
and
at the Caesars
restaurants.
Horseshoe Casino, which is
Damn, not
self-described
even
on
what I
its
thought it would
website as
take
a
place
true
at. You know,
gambler's
I thought it'd be one of the
paradise, featuring
bigger
an
casinos and whatnot. No, it's just this. I've never even. It looks like a newer casino too. I thought he'd be on like the strip or something, losing that much money. No, he went off to the side and lost that much money. Still feel bad for the guy, but geez, yeah. Gambling can get you.
An 18-table poker room, a
Gambling and casinos in Vegas. It's a terrible combination.
Became, quote, one of the casino's top customers and began devoting himself
see, it
to
was
gambling
overtime.
full-time as his primary income and livelihood source.
Ooh.
However, with his level of disposable
rarely ever
income,
works out
hosts
well.
of the Iowa casinos encouraged Mr.
But yeah, he had
Watanabe
way
to play
too
at the
much
Rio and other
disposable
harassed casinos
income.
in Las Vegas. Having struggled to launch any new businesses, Terrence began to frequent Las Vegas beginning in 2005, where his existing gambling habit was intensified and joined with a drinking habit, satisfied only by a luxury vodka brand called Jewel of Russia, which retailed at over $200 per bottle. In that very same year, billionaire Steve Wynn opened the luxury Wynn Las Vegas, and by 2006, 1 year later, Terrence had spent so much money at the venue that the two arranged to meet. Remarkably, Steve concluded that Terrence was a, quote, compulsive gambler and alcoholic, leading Steve to ban
Jesus, that guy, I'm gonna be honest, that guy scares me.
for Terry's addiction, this simply became an opportunity
meeting
for other
spread
venues
throughout
in
the Las
area.
Vegas
Terry
casino
decided to take
industry.
his money
So
over to
what?
Caesars
They
Palace,
were
where a marketing
warning people
executive
about
promised
him.
to give him substantially more advantageous arrangements than the Win with respect to
Wow,
player
so now they're
cost rebates and
using
other
him?
incentives, after which the casino created specific
So did they just like start using him in a warring effort of like, hey, we got this great player that spends all of his money, well, not great player and like he's a good player, but great player as in he spends all of his money at our place now and not your place. Aren't you mad? Like, is that what they're trying to? Weird. That's sad.
specifically designed incentives to keep Terry gambling at their venue. He was given tickets to the Rolling Stones, $12,500 a month for airfare, and $500,000 in credit at the gift stores. Haraz also offered 15% cash back on table losses greater than $500,000, special high-limit games, and other incentives. Mr. Watanabe resided for free in a 3-bedroom suite at Caesars, had access to his favorite bartender, and was constantly surrounded by attendants to serve his every need, such as a 7-course meal from the casino's Bradley Ogden restaurant, delivered to him while he was gambling, with these attendants later telling legendary stories about his behavior while gambling. Al DeLeon and Christian Kunda, two of Mr. Watanabe's personal handlers at Caesars, say he had thousands of Tiffany gift boxes filled with $50 gift cards or $100 gift coins that he would hand out to bartenders, nightclub operators, security guards, and others. They say he once told a security guard to go to a supermarket and buy every cut of steak, and then proceeded to hand them out to employees. Caesars Palace high rollers of this magnitude are often given exclusive loyalty program status called 7-Star, where members are wowed by all the fantastic benefits afforded to them, with additional rewards and all-round bigger and better perks. Yet the casino then literally created a new tier above this called Chairman, of which only Terrence Watanabe had the status of joining. Having been handed what you might call the ultimate life, Terry decided to stay in Vegas, yet with no intervention and nothing else to do. The severity of his habit habit began to get out of control. Several
Yeah,
employees say
are
Mr.
they just
Watanabe
feeding
would
his
stay at the tables
addiction?
for up to 24 hours, sometimes losing as much as $5 million in a single binge.
But
He was
doesn't he
allowed to
make
play
money
3
back
blackjack
for
hands
that?
simultaneously, with a $50,000 limit for each hand.
Maybe
and
not.
If he won, Mr. Watanabe says he regularly handed out to Caesar's employees bundles of $100 bills that could total as much as $20,000.
Jesus.
In the meantime, Terry was
So is he
visited
just
by a
like in a
former casino
delusion
host from his
of,
hometown who explained that Terry appeared
you know,
disoriented
being
and couldn't
rich, but
remember the
when he wasn't?
conversations they'd had in the past. He'd add that Terry
Probably
was
really
often
drunk,
seen
yep.
stumbling around the casino
Yep.
or falling asleep at tables placed right beside loud nightclub music, yet the most notable observation regarded the type of machines that Terry liked to play. According to one of his former assistants, Terrence rejected any skill-based casino game like poker and instead gravitated toward games with low odds, including roulette and slots. He was considered a house player because slots and roulette are house games. They have terrible odds for the player, and the way he played
So yeah,
blackjack,
they
he
were
made
pretty
it a
much
house
just
game. He
letting
made
him
such bad
waste
decisions
his
on the
money, I
blackjack
guess.
table, but it was only when his brother and sister came to visit for Thanksgiving 2007 that he talked about just how much these bad choices had cost him.
Well, yeah, man.
To improve your writing game,
You know, you're just drinking and losing money and drinking and losing money and drinking and losing money. So, you know, yeah, they never ends up well, does it? You know,
Watanabe had lost $127
God
million.
damn. In
Under the
2007
assumption that Terry had more
alone.
money somewhere, the casino then gave him a
That's only
$17 million loan. Although this
never
by
mind.
itself
So he's just convincing him, excuse me, that he has more money to get more, even though he doesn't, so he can get more money to gamble. Yeah, he probably lost it a long time ago, but I mean, yeah, how do you not know he's stumbling around drunk in your casino, gambling all the time? How do you not know he's broke and losing fucking money like crazy?
should have been a sign that he was almost out of money. On the 23rd of
What did I
January
just say?
2008, just weeks after telling
This was a
family
while
about his
ago.
losses, Terrence put his Omaha mansion up for sale while
Wow,
continuing
yeah,
to
for a
chase
lot
his losses
longer
in
than I thought he
Vegas.
would.
He managed to sell the home for a price of $2.66 million. However,
Which he
at this
immediately
point, it
gambled
was
away.
already too late. Terrence Watanabe was
Owed it.
completely out of
Never mind,
money.
he
He
owed
waged
it.
$4.2 million in 2005.
All that money at the
$81
beginning,
million in
what, like 200 million, 200 something million dollars at the beginning of this, not even what, 10 minutes ago, gone. Over half of it in 1 year. Oh, roughly half. Oh, you know, that is definitely over half of it in 1 year.
2006,
Crazy.
$825 million in 2007, and when his
Damn,
family brought him back to Omaha in
820.
2008, Terry
Bro.
had lost more than anybody else in Las Vegas history.
Wow,
with a
well,
three-year trip costing him a total of
$204
$204 million.
Pretty much
To make
all of
matters
it.
Worse,
Pretty much all of his money in one trip to Vegas. Well, you know, a trip that lasted, what, like 2 years, 2.5 years, I think. All of it gone. That is ridiculous. That's insane. That is sickening. That, you know, you can waste that much. Well, Vegas, you know, but to now hold the title of the person who has lost the most money in Vegas, I guess you get to walk away with that, whatever the hell that's worth to you. But yeah, hopefully no one goes out and takes that as a fucking
Terrence
challenge.
had no job or income, yet still owed
Retired.
the casino $14.7
I know,
million.
he left-
After which
he
Terry put
left
the blame
owing
back
money.
on the Caesars, stating that his losses were their fault.
Yep,
Mr.
sounds about
Watanabe
right.
alleges that during this
A lot of
period,
people do
Faraz
that.
not only didn't make him leave when he was drunk, but applied
Yeah.
him with alcohol and prescription drugs to
Oh,
encourage
wow.
him to stay and gamble, leading Terry to
I don't know
launch a
about
lawsuit
the,
against the casino.
drugs,
Court
but
documents
I wouldn't
explain
doubt that
Caesars
they
served
were-
Mr. Watanabe 2 to 3
They weren't necessarily, you know, trying to rush him out of there, but then again, you know, you kind of made it clear how much money you have and whatnot, so yeah, that's kind of what they're gonna do, man. That's kind of their business, is to, you know, either, yeah, is to get you to play as much and lose as much money as possible, so. Yeah, I don't know how much you can put the blame on them for. You know, you are a grown man, and, you know, nice guy and everything, but you're a grown man, so I gotta say, you know, you did have the option to leave and stop playing at any point in time, but you instead were just too drunk to do that.
750 ml bottles of Jewel of Russia vodka per day, every day. No Caesars employee ever limited or cut off Mr. Watanabe's drinking, despite the fact that he was almost always visibly severely intoxicated when he was being served while gambling. On at least least one occasion at Caesars in 2007.
Yeah, they might be owed for over drinking or over serving. I mean, over serving.
The cocktail waitress refused and curtly responded, "Terry gets whatever he wants." Mr. Watanabe had at least 2 drinks at his table at all times.
I'm so glad I'm not part of that case, because yeah.
Intoxication while gambling. Mr. Watanabe's photographs were posted in the employees-only section of the casino in order to ensure all employees recognized him and never refused him anything. Caesars employees never attempted to limit or cut off Mr. Watanabe's drinking or restrict his gambling because they understood that any interference with his drinking or gambling could cost them their jobs. In response to the lawsuit, a spokesperson
such
for the
a mess.
stated,
I could see a casino.
Business. We had no reason to believe that Terry Watanabe was anything other than a big player with huge resources who made an adult decision to bet.
Good luck, Terry, but I don't think you're gonna beat them with no money.
Very happy. Of course we
and
are.
all the money and lawyers they have
against Terry, meaning that on top of everything, he was now facing up to 28 years in prison for the unpaid $14 million.
Damn,
was then published in the months that followed, announcing that both Terry and the casino had each dropped their lawsuits. However, Terry's life recovered afterwards.
Well, yeah, you're never getting that much money back, probably. He looks a lot.
Prostate cancer.
On the 29th of July 2017.
Never mind. I was gonna say he looks a lot healthier, but
$100,000 on GoFundMe for treatment, with a description reading, "I've accepted my situation and do not pity myself. But my hope is that you'll find it in your heart to forgive me for my past and help me live long enough to help others in the future." Attached was a video talking about how bad things have become.
I unfortunately don't have the funds to survive. I'm almost homeless. I have no medical insurance.
Although despite this, he was unable to reach his goal, yet still managing to raise an impressive $28,000. In January 2020, Terry joined Twitter before stating, "Today I try to live a good life and be a good man. Despite my past flaws and mistakes, I've always sought to do good and help people. I hope I can still have a positive impact on those in the future by sharing my story, both highs and lows, funny and sad moments," showing that Terry, quite impressively, now took full responsibility for his own mistakes.
Good for him.
You're not the same.
Hopefully he can get better and get the
I guess that's true.
medical help he needs. But yeah, man, Vegas will fuck you up, I guess. Like, that is crazy. And life will fuck you up. Went from having all this, retiring with, you know, plenty of money to live off of, to, you know, just making some bad decisions that led to more bad decisions that just kept it going. Alcoholism is a terrible thing. Hopefully he's recovering from that too. That's a big deal. But yeah, all this, you know, money's homes, nice things, to, you know, going to Vegas, playing a few hands and losing everything, losing millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. That's ridiculous. And leaving still owing money to the casino still, and them coming after him for it. So yeah, just ridiculous that casinos can kind of get away with that and do that to people's lives with little to no repercussions. Like, yeah, he did go in there, he was drinking, he did play and lose all that money, but still, who knows if anyone actually tried to cut him off or not. I'm pretty sure they're required to, but could be wrong there. So if you're living in a hotel, or if you're staying there, they might, you know, be okay with it. I don't know. I've never been to Vegas or a casino, so, well, I've been to a casino for a comedy show, but I've never, like, gambled in a casino, so I would be the last person to really know about that. But yeah, sad story. Real sad story. Now I will see if there's anything else. Talk about the I Shall Speed thing later. Trailer, Peter Dinklage. Supposed to be a comedy? About 2K, fucking things up. Probably play more Blasphemous over the week. Going both things I don't really want to watch because I don't care. I'm not getting that. Game looks awful. Something tells me I should. Landscape, what? Official trailer Tiffany. I'm wondering, is that one of the Mattel movies coming out? Damn, not a lot happened this week, huh? Re-impressions? Oh, I wonder if he's doing a review for that. So he knows everything is oh, never mind. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Fuck, did I pass it? Oh no, I said I didn't know. Was there something in here I wanted to watch? Oh yeah, Skull and Bones thing, yeah. So, oh crap, goddamn ads.
You're not just a store clerk. You're a line cook, tour guide, sometimes therapist.
Don't remind me.
Operation that's the heart of a neighborhood. You are a fighter. This is your reward. Medella, the mark of a fighter.
Alright, so this is the closed beta trailer. So apparently there's a closed beta coming out. So I'm gonna highly doubt they changed it back to the type of game we would all hope it would be, where we get to control the troops and everything. I'm pretty sure this isn't gonna be anything that spectacular, but you know what? Why not? I don't think I've reacted to anything Skull and Bones style. Yeah, let's check it out. Oh, no, it's a while off. But yeah, 25th to the 28th, you can check out the floating around in Pirate Ship Simulator. Yeah, you won't get to do that. You know, walk on land and control your troops, unless they changed it significantly, but I'm gonna highly doubt it. Probably, yeah, you can probably get yourself stuff before the game comes out, you know, or stuff for when the game comes out, but whoa, discover the game on Twitch and YouTube, so you can probably watch people stream it if you want, but still, it's just, you know, it's just such a disappointment. This game should have gone a completely different direction, which was the original direction they had for it, but instead, you know, you can play the beta and then, you know, pretty much get a good feel of what the game is like and not play the game at all unless you've already pre-ordered it in order to get the beta, at which point you can just cancel your pre-order, because this is probably the majority of the game that you're going to play in the beta. You know, the only time you're going to be walking around is when you're in port, but other than that, you know, you're just driving a ship around and then watching stats and numbers go off on your screen, but you don't actually get to control any of the troops on the ground and tell them what to do. So, yep, you can check it out if you want. What is the beta on? Everything? Probably only on PC. Doesn't even say, does it? Some of the ships look cool. That looks cool. The cannon looks cool, but you know, the rest of the game, from what I'm hearing, is going to be pretty boring. It's pretty much just going to be watching your ship float around, and then, or while you're not, when you're not actually in combat, it's just watching your ship float around and then zooming in on people doing stuff that you would rather be doing. Alright, so since we've been talking about it a lot recently, brought it up in the news. I've been playing it a lot recently. Crap, wow. Ad. You know, I kind of want to play more of it, but you know, so I'm not really the most knowledgeable person on Overwatch 2, really. I figured I'd go to a better source for the new season, and you know, kind of just compare and contrast my opinions with his opinions as a somewhat newer player to a somewhat newer player that's, you know, gotten into the game this season and throughout Overwatch's two lifespan. You know, I figured this would be a good idea since he knows a little bit more about the past than I do of Overwatch and this game. So, yeah, just thought it'd be something fun to do.
Thoughts on Season 6 as a whole?
I like it. I'm still digging into it. I probably played a little bit too much of it recently.
Everything from Alari coming out, the campaign missions.
I haven't got to play those since.
New training range.
Obviously, I haven't got to play those. I will say $15 for missions that should have been out with the game, you know, I think is a little stupid, you know, but it is what it is. It's kind of happened, so there's nothing we could do about it. But yeah, I still just don't know if I'm going to be paying that this season for it now. My other big thing is, I don't know, I just don't get a lot of fun or enjoyment out of the whole, you know, just fighting off waves and waves of enemies and then making it more difficult. Well, he gets into it more later on, but yeah, I just felt like the PvE was a little bit flat and disappointing, which, not a joke on, you know, his name, but, you know, it was just, you know, go to here, fight off a bunch of robots, go to here, defend this robot while fighting off a bunch of robots, you know. I was just kind of hoping for more and more of a fleshed out campaign, since, you know, it took forever to get out there, and this is supposedly something they've been working on for a while, and then it got abandoned. But there was some cool stuff to it he'll talk about, but for the most part, yeah, the PvE stuff I can't really speak on because I only got the free one. I didn't get the like invasion pack with the actual like story missions.
Balance, cinematics.
I haven't seen much of the cinematic.
Hero Mastery at mid-season.
Love that.
The new game mode.
Oh, I don't know if that's what I'm thinking of. Do like the new game mode.
I think there's a little bit of
maps could be a little bit smaller, but I like them.
We can go off number one, the first one, and I think arguably the biggest one, bigger than the campaign PvE, is Alari.
Yeah.
You want my take on what Alari is?
Yes, I do.
I think Alari is if Anna came out today.
I think that's a good point, kinda, minus the sniper rifle.
Today, Alari is like the Anna of Overwatch 2.
And the sleep thing.
Ways. They're really.
Instead, Alari's got the sunburst thing.
Their kit. Now, a lot of people say Alari's broken. And honestly, I agree on one part, the turret. The only thing I think is a little broken.
Yeah.
Is this thing.
Because you can just walk away. Okay? Yep, you can just walk away from it, leave it alone, go off and do your own thing.
Like ultimate,
and then you can move it after, what, like 5 or 6 seconds?
Counters to it. There's Diva Defense Matrix, Genji
Yep.
Reflect, Suzu, Bubble.
You can get out of there, get away from it.
You know, even like after
run out of her line of sight so she can't, do this right here.
Don't do the follow-up damage.
And I have problems doing that, so I'm not great with her.
It's actually less broken than I thought it would be.
The more time I put into it, the more I feel she's meh. Again, I agree with the turret. I think it either heals too much, heals too fast, or yeah, maybe once she gets out of range of it, it should be destroyed and you have to set it up again. But yeah, her gun takes way too long to recharge, so getting those big critical headshots is kind of hard unless you're a better player. But yeah, I've come around on her. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm not the best at her, but I also feel, again, supports just do too much healing in general, not just her. Like, all of them can do way too much healing, and on top of that, they can also, if you're good with them, you can, you know, lay some people out with people. Like, even Brig. I heard Brig got some nerfs this season that made her almost unplayable, but I still see people playing her a lot. Now, granted, whether they're good or not is still up for debate, but yeah.
Good thing. If you look at someone like Ana, right? Like, if you saw Ana come out today, she has a cooldown that is a hard CC that puts you to sleep for 5 seconds. Turns off your
It's so annoying. We gotta be accurate with it. Just like her headshots, Alari's headshots.
Or 70 damage a shot. 70 damage, this is after the nerfs. 70 damage per
heal.
70 healing per shot. The nade heals your teammates, and then her ultimate gives the person 50% damage increase and 50% damage reduction.
See, Alari doesn't have anything like that.
Say, holy hell, that is a broken character. But that doesn't mean it still shouldn't be in the game and it still shouldn't be fun. I think Illari is probably the best character they've released in Overwatch 2. Better than Sojourn, better than Kiri, better than Ramatra, and definitely better than Lifeweaver. So, is she gonna probably end up being strong and need to be turned back later? Probably. Is it still okay for right now?
Kind of how things work in times of hero shooters nowadays.
True, I did forget about Junker Queen. Junker Queen was so strong when she released, but I'd say overall, Illari just has such a good kit. She's so much fun to play. She feels so fluid.
If you know how to play her, I kind of suck
really
with
good
her.
addition to the game.
Still learning.
For sure. So I think Illari is by far probably the best thing they added this season. Overall, amazing.
That's a little
design,
shocking.
Super fun. Doesn't feel too cheesy even when you die to her. The only thing that feels cheesy to me is the turret. Like this.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Letting it just AFK heal.
Or hiding it somewhere.
Probably complain about. And part of its shield, and you can also do like.
Oh yeah, I always forget there's shield on it. Yeah, it's probably a little ridiculous.
Cooldown's already off. You can just immediately reset.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
As long as it doesn't take damage, and so you just compete, like have constant uptime.
Yep.
It's basically a small mercy pocket, right? Because it does 40 healing per burst every 0.8 seconds. Mercy's healing is 55 healing per second.
That might be a little bit too much,
like
too fast.
So,
one of those two might have to be changed. Oh god damn it! Is this Destiny? Open world RPG. Okay,
I don't
well.
think Mercy should be taking that big of an L in that department then.
Wasn't she nerfed too? Pretty heavily.
Big W. Very good character addition. If you haven't played her yet, I would. She's very fun. The PV campaign.
Here we go.
It wasn't what I expected.
So he has the actual whole campaign, not just the event shit.
Zombie style, in which it was like larger hordes of enemies, as well as like they have new cool abilities or like things you have to like look for, like certain mechanics that you have to play off of, not just larger health pools.
Yeah, it's just larger health pools, but
much larger health pools. That
and it's just kind of plain and flat, and, you know, it's just you're getting rushed by a bunch of different mechs and robots, so yeah, the higher up levels are fucking insane. I tried. I don't know if it was legendary. It might have been the one below the highest difficulty, and holy shit!
Sometimes we didn't know what we were doing wrong, but at the end we felt a great sense of accomplishment when we finished it. And I think that's
sounds
a really
cool
good
and
sense of game
everything,
design,
but
of like, hey, you know what? We made this to the point where it was hard, but at the end you felt like accomplished. You felt like you had a good time with it, and that's not even the best part of it. The best part of the campaign by far is the story. The story by far is the best part. The cutscenes.
See, I'm so far back on the story that I don't know if there's any point. I had to spend hours watching cutscenes and whatnot, but I thought this was cool too, how Winston is in here and you're kind of watching things from his perspective play out. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of just play Overwatch more for the PvP, so the story doesn't really concern me. I have plenty of other games to play for story reasons, but I did think it was cool how Winston was here and talks and interacts with the AI, and then you got stuff on his desk that as you beat more of the challenges, and yeah, I think it's challenge based. Yeah, the challenges, you unlock more on the on your desk that you can interact with, and Winston will talk about. Yeah, this kind of goes on for a while.
And then as
you can't say it doesn't add more to the Overwatch story.
More things appeared.
I think that was part of week 1, was the peanut butter jar. I noticed these, yeah. I just don't know if I want to spend that much time on it.
On certain missions, like
especially since I only have the free stuff, not all the paid stuff, so
that piece of lore. And fair on liberation and stuff like that, and be able to.
There is a lot to do. You just need a group to kind of do it with.
Overall, is shown with their cinematics that they are super good at telling stories, and the cutscenes are by far the best part of it. It makes you feel more connected to the universe. It makes you understand the characters a little bit deeper, and I think it's just.
I don't know if I really care for that much. I'm just playing it to be good or not.
Not even close.
Maybe later when I'm actually good at it, I'll care more about that stuff.
Eating that dead horse. Yeah, it wasn't what we were promised. Does that mean we're not allowed
good point.
to enjoy what we were still given?
This is also a
would
good point.
answer, no, you should still be allowed to enjoy something that was
And
given, even if it wasn't what the original thing was.
Right, I agree, you know, but yeah, it's still, you know, the PvP or the PvE to me was just boring and kind of plain, so I just didn't really care that much about it. But I do like Alari. I do like the new maps and game modes and some of the changes they made. I think it is still a fun season this season, and you know, going in the right direction. I think it's going in the right direction and making big change ups in the right ways.
And I still.
They should keep going the way they're going.
And I think that if you played it, it might be fun too. So, if you didn't want to play it though, I would highly recommend either finding somewhere on YouTube or whatever where all the cutscenes were, because the cutscenes are
that's what I'm talking about.
To watch.
Might do that one day.
Shines and does really well.
But I don't have a squad to go through and do all that stuff with.
Next up, I would probably talk about the Flashpoint new game mode. I've heard some complaints about the new game mode being a lot of walking.
Yeah,
it just kind of feels like you're just constantly running to the next point.
Yep.
But it also doesn't feel bad.
It just needs smaller maps.
Because the way the
if they just condense the maps more, then I think that would help out a lot. And with this right here, you might get more fights if you want.
Per point, and it's first to 3, and you're constantly spawning around different points of the map. You have 2 different spawn points that you could get. The enemy has 2 spawn points that they could get. You're constantly being shifted around. You don't know where you're going to be at any time.
But see, condensing the map would help with that.
1v3 or 2v3, and then you realize you're fighting and they're capturing the point on the other side of the map, and everybody's just gonna haul ass.
It's happened to me quite a lot.
It brings a different level of the game that we haven't experienced. It's like a crossover between like deathmatch of Control, while also having the game sense of awareness of something like Escort, where you constantly have to be playing the objective. Because yeah, you can get a bunch of kills, you know, running around and finding them, but if they beat
it's pointless.
You first, it's
completely pointless if you don't get the point.
Is the game mode perfect? No. Do I think it's
just came out
better than when Push was released?
See, that's what I'm talking about. I wasn't there for that.
Like got jammed down our throat in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You were playing in every other
I was
game,
not
no
here
what.
for
Like,
the release of Push, so I would have no idea. That was already there when I started playing Overwatch and Overwatch 2.
They did that and they forced it down your throat so much, really made the game mode unplayable.
Yeah, they haven't shoved Control down my throat as much. I like to play more, actually.
Difficult to digest. I don't think that this game mode feels that way. I enjoy it. I think it's nice. I think there's going to be definitely a meta that develops where you need to have like Lucio.
Yeah, so you can move faster. Yeah.
You know, where you're like trying to
I'm hoping they just take it,
so that you get a better spawn.
They just cut down some of the map, like cut out some of the areas that no one's really using, or some of the alleys no one's really going through to get to certain objectives. Because yeah, it just feels like too big of a map for characters that move way too slow. Like it feels like a Call of Duty size map in a game that doesn't move nearly as fast as Call of Duty moves nowadays. But yeah, I still like it. I wish that I would get a little bit more actually in unranked and ranked modes, but
regardless though, I think it's a really good addition for sure. To talk about the new lore that
god damn it.
Journalist in New York City waiting for her big break.
You need to write another.
No.
That came out. There was the the calling short.
Did not see anything about this.
It was only available in game for a bit, but now it's on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. That's that
I don't
one.
think there has to be a lot said here. The cinematics are always insane. Actually, I'm surprised this only has 55k views. Probably because it was released in game and most people saw it in game, so it was very quiet.
I did not.
YouTube like much later.
Or
the Sojourn cinematic building up to season 6 was phenomenal.
You know,
and if you haven't seen the
on
origin
YouTube,
story of Alari,
that's what it was.
It's really sad.
Same,
It's
haven't
really,
seen
really
it.
Sad. It's such a sad story, but it was like
might now though.
Just shows that they should telling stories in this game. If you haven't watched those, I definitely recommend giving those a watch. That's the audio description. Actual version is 500k. Wait, what?
Yeah, that was one of the.
Oh,
yeah.
You're right. I'm blind. Here it is. Oh, it's the
audio description.
Wait, I didn't even know this was a thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, so it's 500k. Okay, never mind. Anyways, though, cinematics really, really good. balance I'll talk about in a second. There's a new firing range, which I'm in right now, the new training range. There's a lot
This
of
took me a while to
like
find.
these things which are like ults.
Yeah, that's
You
pretty
walk over,
cool.
you get your ult. There's
In case you want to
bot
test your
placements,
ult
you
real
can
quick.
change out the bots for these tank bots.
On
You
that to
change out
his
certain ones,
channel.
like these ones to rocket bots, in which they do much
Try
more
and fuck
damage.
with those a little bit. I
use
think I
these in
did
my
that live
testing
on
with
stream.
Lari. New
Yeah,
tank
the
bot
actual
added over
practice
here.
range took me a
can
while to
change,
find because it's back in a
these
corner and
bots
there's
as
really
teams
no.
to
Oh,
make
there
them
is
friendly to
signs. I just
enemies.
realized there are
And then
signs that
arguably
point
probably the
you.
biggest change
I did
is
not
the
pay
actual
attention
firing
to
range
that.
over here in the corner, and it might not look like a ton. You can change your hero here, but over here is all these settings.
It is pretty much just an aim lapse, though.
Which I'm just gonna leave
When
it
you
really fast just to show you what the bullseyes look
when
like.
you really fuck with it, you find out that it's
It
a
really just
fucking
targets, like as if you're playing
aim
shooter.
labs.
You can have these targets. You can set
But
different.
going
ranges
to
from
aim
20 meters,
labs
30
and
meters, 40 meters. You can
paying
also
them
change
for
to
it, they just
bots.
made it themselves.
And you can have them do erratic things. Like I'll show you really fast. This one I
Yep.
thought was very.
I've tried
fascinating.
messing with this to
So you
get
can
better at the
change,
game. Gotta wait a little
you can
bit.
change the training bots, put them on long, and then you can do player strafe. And watch
Random
this is
arc,
crazy.
yeah. Whatever you need them to
Tries
do.
oh, wrong button.
Yeah, whatever you
Tries
need
to
them to
emulate
do.
Player movements. So the bots just jump around and make these really erratic different movements
So
that players
cool.
would be making in game.
To help you
Whether
aim,
they're jumps,
jumping,
whether they're,
Mercy,
dropping,
Farah,
strafing
aiming
back
at them.
and forth, Widow grappling, like whatever it might be. They tried to emulate in some ways what would be player movement, not just shooting bots. Because
Yep.
Unfortunately, in the day, just shooting stationary bots in the training range does not improve your aim. I speak from experience.
I'm back and forth, jumping around.
So the training range
So
is really
cool.
It's a nice little addition to the game. Definitely
Help
brings
you
it
warm
in a little
up
bit more into the 21st
between games.
century of gaming, because it did feel kind of old. And I say 21st century, I know it's not 21st century, but
I mean, it is an
modern
old
gaming
ass game,
versus
isn't it? Like 10
the
years
training
old,
range originally
maybe
came out in
older.
2016 with original Overwatch. It feels like it's
Oh,
kind of caught up with a lot of
2016, never
ways,
mind.
like Valorant and other, Apex and other AAA FPS titles. Is there more to probably
Yeah,
add?
6 years,
Sure.
almost
There's
7
also, like, a
years.
custom game mode where it has like a better training range and stuff like that probably could have been implemented, but I also think they wanted to keep it somewhat simple. So I like the training range. It's a nice changes. My only complaint about the training range is this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
It used to be about that strafed up and back and forth here.
I can't tell you how many
I
times
thought there was. I thought maybe it was just me. Maybe it just randomly
Over
appears.
here, you know exactly what I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I look to the left, and he's gone. He's gone.
That's the one everyone called Jake or Greg or whatever.
Missing something. But the last thing I think to talk about is probably balance. And I think there's probably one thing that I would arguably want to talk about at some point. I don't want to.
Is that an
right
Xbox? I didn't know there was a
now.
patch
Is that
notes.
healing
That's
numbers
probably
are
only
getting
on
really
PC.
kinda jacked up,
See, it
considering
wasn't
that
just
Lightning
me.
Tree
It wasn't
is
just
literally
me.
old Brig Rally at this
Supports are
point.
way too strong when it comes to healing.
Going through a lot of these changes.
It drives me nuts.
It feels
Everything
kinda
got
good.
changed on his.
The
Not
game
really,
feels pretty
because when that
tough.
tree
It's
comes
hard to
out,
kill
then it's
things,
just
though,
like, well, forget
which
it,
I would
back up.
argue is better than instantly
Yep.
dying. 'Cause
Oh,
back in
man.
season 3,
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, I've had fights that just go on for what feels like way too long when I'm like a DPS going against a support, and it's just like, holy shit, what is the point? And then I'll even get killed, and that shit just drives me nuts, because it's just like, I sat there for like 2 minutes shooting this guy in the fucking chest and head and arms and legs, and I just can't out damage his healing percentage because everyone heals for way too much. God help you if there's a life weaver around and they pop that tree, then it's just game over. Well, then the battle's just over. You might as well just back off, or everyone focus on destroying that tree.
everybody was talking about the double sniper Widow meta, and we had two
Wasn't
metas.
there
You
for
had
that.
Rhine
I
meta,
don't
like
think
your
so.
main cast Rhine, and then you had your like poke Widow metas, and everyone hated dying to the one shots constantly.
Well,
So I would
Widow's
rather
still
have
one-shotting.
really
Happened to
tanky,
me last
sustained
night a
fights
lot.
than one shots, but
I don't know.
I hope there's a way we can have a balance in between the two.
We'll
But
see.
Right now, at least, for like this exact moment,
Yeah, they should
I've
put that on
played-
Xbox because you can see all of
played a lot of
the
Overwatch in this
changes.
I've played more Overwatch this week, I think, than I've played in the last
Agreed.
2 months. I I streamed.
Yep,
the
this
first
is
2
most
days,
Overwatch
15
I've
hours,
played
16
since
hours, and then I did another
Overwatch
day after
2
that, I
came out.
crashed. I only did like a 5-hour stream because I was.
But
So
I've been
tired for
enjoying it a
6 hours
lot
straight.
more.
And then I did another 8, and then another 10, back to back. And I can tell you from all that playtime, the game feels pretty good.
Yeah.
I will say one thing I don't like.
Yeah.
Hanzo change. That's
I play
years
like
of,
no Hanzo, so
7 years
I
of muscle
can't
memory.
comment.
I don't like the Hanzo change.
Air draws progression is no longer preserved while wall climbing. So when you would wall climb, it would preserve how much charge you have behind the bow. You know, if you fully charged it and then immediately went into a wall run, you could jump out of that wall run and fire off a full strength shot. And now you cannot. You would have to jump off the wall, charge it, and then fire it. So yeah, I understand where he's coming from. A lot of people have been playing this game, and you know, Hanzo mains, there's probably some Hanzo pros out there that, you know, play nothing but Hanzo. This is gonna fuck them all the way up because they're so used to that. So yeah, that's interesting.
Play
But
that much Hanzo.
I've still been getting wrecked by
Hanzos
Hanzos.
because you're so used to pulling and then climbing up. It was like kind of like a skill, at least to me.
See,
I don't like that change. But regardless,
and
though,
it's gone.
There's definitely some.
Yeah, look at all the Bastions. Yeah, I think I played so much Bastion.
He's taken over. Like he feels really strong.
Yeah.
He's dominating. A lot of the tanks.
I'd say he's close too. Same with Doomfist.
Feels really good.
Diva, yep.
Particular, just a fun to play. Diva feels really good. Orisa feels pretty good. Ramatra is still really strong. I just played ranked last night and I went like 4-1 dominating on Ramatra. I haven't played much
Just
Sigma.
moving.
Winston
Oh yeah,
feels really good.
speed.
I actually like this
Sigma
change to
feels
Winston
good.
after playing it. It feels good.
I haven't played Winston, so I wouldn't know. I do see more Winstons. It feels
actually a lot
like.
of these changes that have aged well, and so is balance perfect?
90 to 80.
No.
Ultimate
There
cost
will be.
increased
We'll always
10%.
disagree
Oh,
on
so
that,
not
no
much
matter what.
changed with Soldier.
Everyone will, because everyone's gonna have
15% no longer destroys
so.
life Weaver Tree of Life.
Am I missing anything?
Dumb.
Is there anything
Should
else
have.
in season 6 that I
Should have left
missed?
that alone.
There's the PvE missions. Oh, there's the single mission, the PvE mission. Oh, hero progression. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I almost forgot. You're right. Hero progression. Oh
One
my
reason
God,
that
hero
I
progression.
think I've gotten so into it is
This
because
is such
the
a
hero
nice
progression
addition to the game.
and having something
Hero
to
progression
build on
stuff
and
is
show
so,
off.
So cool. You see I'm level 11 on Rhine, but I don't have like any kills or anything. It's because it was all from the PvE missions. PvE campaign missions.
Yeah, the invasions ones. Oh, nice background. I just realized his background is Doomfist as One Punch Man.
You have certain things that you can kind of keep track of, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit
Badges to earn.
I just like to watch numbers go up.
I do.
That's just kind of how it goes.
But you also get stuff for it. Like I now have a Soldier 76 background and a few other emblems or whatever cards.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep, titles. You can get a bunch of stuff.
Battle Pass XPs too. Is that true?
You get your stuff. There's stuff you can get from
but
it.
It's not even just that. You do get a title. Okay, so you do get titles as you level them up.
Yeah, there's so many things to rank up and level up now. Yep, rolls.
Queuing all rolls and quick.
Oh really?
I have like decent tank one.
Why does he get DPS but I constantly get support?
It's really difficult because everyone wants to play Alarium. I'm not really a support player, so like I'll let people have their fun.
Yep.
I let Seagull play it. I
Agree.
let play it. Karki play it. You know, Somnus, whoever I'm playing with, I'll let them play the support characters. Let them have their fun.
Yeah, there's a lot more to do now and earn and
title cards and
feel
icons,
accomplished about.
just for leveling this stuff up. And I'm also apparently level 66 already on it, which is
I'm 50 something, so no.
Hero progression level combined.
Yeah, I don't know if it's combined, but
like Overwatch 1 in some ways. You feel like you're making progress. You feel like you're
doing
working
something,
towards
yeah.
little by little.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I'm working towards this massive goal. But every day
You're
you
getting
chip away at it a
something.
little bit more.
Yep.
And let's say in about 6 months from now, I go from level
and you get
11
better,
on to 150.
and it helps you get better
And
at the
these all
game.
change from
Gives you
bronze
reasons
gold,
to
like,
play, which
and
gets you
it's
better
like,
at the game, which makes the game more fun.
Wow, that guy's really good at Rhine, or wow, he's got a lot of mastery on Rhine. Plays a
Yep.
lot of Rhine, you know. Yeah, it's just cool, fun stuff. I think it's a really nice addition to the game.
Something it needed
The
for a
events were really
while.
good. A lot of the
Damn, he does have like all the
challenges are fun.
achievements.
This
Oh, he
Brig
doesn't
one, I
even
had
have
wanted
this
this
one.
Brig skin. I like
So
this
do
Brig skin
I.
a lot, but we have to
But-
wait till some of the other ones unlock.
Yep, I gotta
We
do
got,
some of
the
those.
free mission stuff done, going around finding the hidden loot, like not hidden loot, hidden lore, stuff like that. They added a lot of cool stuff. I think it's fair to say that Overwatch has f***ed up a lot in the past, and things are...
I think this is one of the bigger shakeups.
I've been upset, myself included. And I still stand by a lot of it. Very rightfully so.
Did not play for a few seasons. I still think the Battle Pass still needs to get better.
Truly feels like the first season where all of our complaints and all of our things,
for the most part,
collective community, both as creators, publicly and behind the scenes, as well as people who play the game actively calling for changes, have finally seen some of them implemented. Even in small things like drops, the drops that are happening right now.
Oh yeah, the Twitch drops.
What's up, design friends? I'm excited to tell you about a new event coming up from Adobe right
January to stop reusing and making shitty drops. You know, it was like that.
And now they did the Torbjorn stuff, and they were pretty good.
Wrecking ball souvenir loop, like it was like a toolbox. It's like,
oh, one of the emotes. Yeah, hate the souvenirs.
It's a Torbjorn skin that used to be in the shop.
Yeah, so a skin you used to have to pay for is now free. All you gotta do is watch like 6 hours of a streamer while playing Overwatch, so not bad. Plus you get a voice line and a background for your emblem or your title.
And yeah, it's hard to look past a lot of the old bullshit because, quite frankly, it's still very valid.
But at least it kind of feels like they're moving in the right direction.
Sit here and never change my opinion, because as the information changes, I change. And I think this is probably the best season of Overwatch 2 we've had yet, and that would include the launch date. This arguably has more content than launch Overwatch 2.
Right.
So if you haven't played Overwatch,
right,
or you stepped away from the game for a while, I would highly encourage you to at least give this season a chance and play it. Because if you do enjoy it, you'll play more. If you don't enjoy it,
you don't have to play. And yeah, I was gonna say it was free. You didn't spend any money on it as long as you don't buy the battle pass.
Added was pretty good. I have very small criticisms about certain things, like for example the way the PvE actually technically works on Legendary. But overall, I had a blast. I had an awesome time.
And it's just begun too.
So what's the overall ruling of Season 6 after 1 week? Probably the best season of Overwatch we've had in a very, very long time, and I would say the best season of Overwatch 2 so far.
Coming from someone who's been playing it for like 7 years, you know, that's quite a big deal. Again, it's not perfect. They still got a long way to go, but as I've talked about, I think in the news, I think they understand, the team behind Overwatch and at Blizzard understands they really need to shake things up in a big way over the next few seasons and probably for the rest of this year in order to get people back, in order to keep people there, in order to keep people playing, and in order to keep new people playing for longer, you know. So I'm thinking, you know, next season we're going to see something big as well. As I talked about a few times now, they said they're going to try and release more heroes in between seasons, so it's not just every season we get a new hero. So we'll see if that happens, but I think they're trying to bring Overwatch 2 back from the depths, even though, you know, it's gotten a lot of bad press on Steam for, you know, the lack of content and all the shit they've been doing since the end of Overwatch, essentially. But, you know, this could be the start of something good, so yeah.
It's important to realize where we are is much better than where we were. We're much better where we are than where we were. The key to this game succeeding and for this game to do well is to keep pushing forward.
Yep.
And to keep making good decisions and to keep listening to the community and to keep communicating and to keep pushing forward. That's the key.
To only get better, hopefully.
Because where we are now isn't perfect, and I don't think we ever will get to perfect.
No.
But it doesn't mean you shouldn't try.
And yeah, shouldn't try to get as close to that as we can.
Isn't perfect. We're much better than where we once were, and we should continue to keep pushing forward and keep pushing for better things. And I'm not going to change. If I don't like something, I'm going to call it how it is. If I like something, I'm going to applaud you for it. I'm going to positive reinforcement. Try to push you to keep doing more of it. So we might not be in the perfect spot right now, but we're getting there.
Yeah,
things are much better.
We're in the right direction. They're doing the right things and listening to the right people, I think. Well, I already answered that. But yeah, I just figured think of someone who's been playing the games probably since Overwatch, the original Overwatch came out. You know, what better source to go to than someone that has all this time and experience in the game and has kept up with the game and the community and everything. So just something cool I thought we'd watch. But yeah, I think we'll call it good here. So thanks everyone. I'll be back Monday. Have a good weekend. All that usual good stuff. See you later.